Good evening, everyone, and welcome back once again to Vicious Rants. And of course, I am your host, your one and only YouTube Messiah, and often imitated, never duplicated, backyard superstar Tim Vicious. I am talking about, talking about Battleground. Yep, this past Sunday. Not gonna lie, I didn't get a chance to see it live, unfortunately. Wound up watching it next day. Thank God for the network. That way I don't have to pay for all the. That way I don't have to pay for the encore show and all. But yeah. Anyways, it wasn't. Well, the show was kind of bad, but it was a hell of a lot better than last year's Battleground. So yeah, there's that much I can say on it right now. So, first and foremost, first thing I want to talk about, the very first, I didn't get a chance to see the pre-show. I heard there was 2 matches. I would have liked to have seen it. I didn't watch it. I was pressed for time, and I had the choice of being able to watch that and risk not seeing the whole pay-per-view or watch the whole pay-per-view. So, I gave up seeing the pre-show for all of you, so y'all better appreciate that. Because if not, there's 2 different canes right there. I can go get some lube, and I'll let you have some alone time with it. Moving on, first match the show started off with. It was the 2 out of 3 tag team match. Usos versus Wyatts for the tag titles. It was really good, and I'm a fan of 2 out of 3 fall matches because, you know, you got to wind up doing something different besides just hitting, boom, one finisher to get the win, you know? Because, yeah, we'll say, boom, you hit your finisher, you get the first win. Now what are you going to do? Because it's not like you're able to just go and hit it again. You know, I mean, because you got to make the match good, and if they're able to recover and get enough strength to score a fall themselves, then what the hell does that say about your finisher? But moving on, the match itself, it was really good. Wyatt's wound up getting the first fall. Really happy on that. Then the Usos wound up getting the second fall. Wasn't really happy on that. Me personally, and this is just me, I've seen lately with 2 out of 3 fall matches, it just seems like anymore they don't do just straight solid, okay, he got 2 wins. That's it. I would just like to see that because that would be something a little different, you know, more like in an old traditional kind of way. But in the end, Usos wound up winning and retaining for whatever reason. Seriously, I am not impressed with the Usos anymore. They caught my attention for like 5 seconds, and then they lost it because they didn't do anything to make themselves noticed. And I know there's a couple of y'all out there that watch this and like the Usos, and I ain't gonna give you crap. And I ain't, you know, but personally, and this is me as a tag team guy, you know, I spent most of my time as a in-ring performer in a tag team. You know, you want to make yourself noticed, and what is it the Usos are doing? You know, they're not really doing much to make themselves, like, say, hey, look at us, you know? But yeah, Usos wound up getting a win. They got the second and final win, or second and final fall, both doing a double body splash. And yeah, was not happy on that one. Next up, it was the Divas title match, Paige versus AJ, which I'm going to talk about that match, and then I'm going to highlight what happened on Raw with that also. The match itself, I liked it. You know, it was good. Saw both on the pay-per-view and on Raw. Paige kind of came out with that I'm sexy and I know it kind of swagger, moving like that, and that's my god-awful attempt at it. by all means, feel free to laugh. I'm going to give you all a few seconds to do that now, so go ahead. Done? Okay. Yeah, that's my bad attempt at it. Look, I'm a 29-year-old Irish white boy. What do you expect? I can't move. I couldn't move if my life depended on it. You know, but, you know, Paige came out. She had that kind of little swagger with her. Next thing you know, AJ came out. It was the match itself. It was pretty good. You know, I mean, there was a botch or two here and there, but all things considered, for a women's match in WWE, this was pretty up there as far as with, like, good ones. You know, it was pretty impressive. You know. Yeah, it's Paige, or not Paige, yeah. AJ wound up getting the win. She wound up hitting Paige with the Shining Wizard, which was nice to see that one get brushed out. Nice to see that move get brushed out. Wound up winning. And they did a follow-up on Raw with them two doing a tag team match. And immediately after the match was over, you know, they were both holding their hands up because they got the win. AJ turned her back. Next thing you know, Paige just grabbed her by the hair, wham! Slammed her down and just started beating the snot out of her. In which case, please, oh please let this lead into a Paige heel turn. I am so hoping for that because, you know, you can make this really good if they book it right now. You know, have her turn, have her say that, you know, she's mad that AJ came back, you know, took her spot because it's her yard now. Now she's going to go back to her Annie Diva ways, which, you know, would definitely help set herself different from the rest of the roster and help build more originality with it. Yep. Next matchup, Rusev versus Swagger, which, I'm not going to lie, this was the match I was looking more forward to than any other on the show. You know, like I said, patriotic stories are probably one of my favorite ones, just because, you know, the way you can work a crowd. You can get the crowd to rally behind you just because of the simple fact you're standing for your country, and it's such a beautiful way to work them. And if you can get the crowd to help work and be part of the show, then you got them. You got them good. That's my philosophy, though. Anyways, Rusev and Lana came out. Next thing you know, then came out Swagger with Zeb. Yeah, Swagger wound up slugging it out with Rusev for a few minutes, even before he even took his coat off, which I'm just a curiosity. Am I the only one that really hopes that that jacket winds up getting made into some WWE merch? Really? I'm the only one? I guess it's my weird hoodie obsession. Deal with it, people! Anyways, this match, I liked it. I mean, it wasn't like a 5-star phenomenal match, but, you know, for two big guys, it was pretty good. And, you know, it was nice to see Rusev be able to have more of a moveset than just, you know, doing the normal slams to knock somebody down and the heel kick and the super kick, and then pulling out the accolade. You know, it was nice seeing him being able to do that. Also really liked seeing just the way, like, Swagger, when he was trying to build up momentum, and kept getting hit by Rusev and was getting pissed at it until he just wound up, like, getting this look on him like, you know what, I am getting sick of this motherfucker trying to take a swing at me. Next thing you know, got up and just started going on him, and I mean fierce. Swagger wound up getting the ankle lock in on him. I always get mad when I see Swagger do the ankle lock, just because I grew up seeing Ken Shamrock and Kurt Angle do it. on how they did it. They twisted and bent down like that. With Swagger, he just bends that way. He doesn't, or not even that way. He bends that way. He doesn't even try to bend the Achilles or anything. You know, it's just, that's just me though. Like I wasn't that big of a submission guy when I did, but when I did do moves, I was very retentive on making sure if I'm gonna do the move, you know what, I'm gonna do it just as good as anyone else, just as good as the guy who did it before me. You know, so if I was doing an ankle lock, I would do it like Ken Shamrock or Kurt Angle would. You know, go bend down, bend the Achilles, and even do a leg scissors over the leg if I have to. But my big submission was always the Taz mission, you know, the Kacha-Ha-Me. But I'm getting off track here. Yep, my damn ADD. Moving on. You got Swagger, he had the accolade in. Rusev fought really hard on that one. You know, I really thought he was going to tap for a minute. Didn't. Next thing you know, wound up eventually getting to the ropes. Worked with one ankle for a minute until he rolled outside. Swagger put it back on him out there. Looked like, you know what, looked like he just was getting ready to go in that mindset of, I don't care if I lose, I'm just looking to beat your ass so that way I can make my point on you. And that I really like. Next thing you know, Rusev, he pulls out of it and slams Swagger's head clear into the post and knocks him out cold. Rusev winds up winning by countout, and next thing you know, after the match, he winds up picking Swagger up, tossing him in the ring, slams in the accolade, winds up bending him like he's a frickin' bread twisty until Lana goes and does, let go, let go. And then they take him out. Didn't see Swagger or Zeb the fall on Raw afterwards. They're probably keeping quiet on that because they wound up saying they're going to do a match with Sheamus and Rusev on main event. So hopefully, and this is courtesy of this fantasy booking idea, courtesy of a conversation me and Nick Meltzer McGee at Pro Wrestling Smart Talk had. Yep, and they do Sheamus versus Rusev on main event. Next thing you know, it leads into a U.S. title match at SummerSlam. Sheamus drops the belt to Rusev, makes it the Russian Federation title. Swagger beats him for it, makes it the U.S. title again, and there you go. That way you make the title into a pick into the main part of the storyline, because then you are definitely gonna sell it. And not only that, it's gonna bring more legitimacy back to the title that it so desperately needs. Yep. And yeah. Next match, well, can't even say it was a match, Seth and Dean, because Seth came out, said I demand to be declared the winner, and then they wound up brawling for a good bit. Yeah. Coolest part on that was later on in the show, Dean popped out of the trunk of Seth's car to try and knock him out, but Seth got away. So, next matchup, Bray Wyatt versus Jericho. Really good. It was really good. I liked it. You know, and I'm just gonna go on there now and before I go into any more detail about what the match is, just saying, all the matches on the show I give a 5, anywhere between a 5 and a 6. You know, because I mean, like I said, the show wasn't bad, but it wasn't great either. So, just thankful I had the network for it. So all I had to do was I just basically paid $10. So, you know, I didn't have to break the bank and feel like shit. But moving on, Jericho and Wyatt, it was really good, really nice. You know, for a guy in his mid-40s, Jericho still moves around incredibly in the ring. Very good, very fluid. Bray, he worked great with him. And Bray, with that one shiner that he's got on his eye from Flair, that just helped add a whole extra dimension to the creepiness on him. Because anytime he would get knocked down and you could only see part of his face like that, when he would have that eye open, that whole part was just straight up dark like that. And all you could see was just his eye. It was just like his iris. Yeah, and it's just like, holy shit, that's creepy. And that was really good with it. You know, they did really good with the match. Really liked it. Jericho wound up getting the win. He wound up pulling a code breaker out on Bray right out of nowhere. And a lot of people were being very hypocritical on that, saying because, oh, Jericho's getting a job. He's the jobber now. He's the guy that they use to put people over. Jericho won. Next thing you know, everyone was like, he's going to bury Bray. No, you idiots. And here's the thing. And Bray even said this on Raw when he cut his promo. He's not the kind of guy that goes to win the battles, goes to win the war, which is what I've been preaching this whole damn time. You know? Which is why I was not mad when Bray wound up losing to Cena. Because in that little feud between Bray Wyatt and John Cena, Cena may have won the battles, Bray won the war right there. Because Bray wound up, because that whole feud right there was not more but the story talking about pushing John to his breaking point and making him question his own motives and his own beliefs. And he did that. You know, with this one, I was on Sunday Segway podcast this week, which, by the way, kids, make sure y'all check that out. Moving on, you wound up saying there, Bray needs to get into a little more detail on why it is he was going after Jericho, not just because you say you're here to save us, you say it's your home, all that, and then you leave. You know, it's okay. A little more detail on it, you know. I mean, just something like that. But Bray, like I said before, he's like a friggin' modern day Jake Roberts when you give him the stick, because he will lure you in, you know. And Jake Roberts wound up saying it best: I don't have to scream into the mic. If I'm screaming into the mic, you're not gonna hear me. But if I sit there and I speak soft and calm and talk about what it is I'm going to do, you're going to lean in. You're going to lean in closer. You're going to hear what it is I got to say. And then, wham! That's when you got them. That is on how you get them. You don't go out there and do some 20-minute long speech on, oh yeah, brother, let me tell you, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do that. No, because you know what? You can go up, grab a soda, come back, he's still going to be doing the same thing. He ain't going to miss nothing. But yeah, that was that. Next matchup, it was the Battle Royal, the Intercontinental Battle Royal. Really surprising to see that actually all the guys wound up getting an entrance, because, well, anytime they normally do Battle Royals on pay-per-views or on Raw, they always wind up having like one or two guys get an entrance, you know? The big top face and the champ, that's it, you know? But everyone got like a quick 5-second thing for it, in which case I was messing with everyone all day before the Battle Royal went on, was saying, oh yeah, I think Khali's gonna win. Because, and not that I really thought he would, but I was just saying. And I'm about to explain, so don't go into an all keyboard rage and get all fanboyish on me and write nasty stuff down below. But wouldn't it be really funny if Khali, of all people, was a champ, won the Intercontinental title? You know? Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Muppet Swedish Chef speaks English a lot better than Khali. But as far as with the Battle Royal, yeah, it's always hard to call a Battle Royal just because, you know, you got so many people going around doing so much at once. It's like a giant cluster muck. You know, it's hard to tell what's what. And but all in all, it was good. You know, I really thought for a minute there Bo was going to win it for a little bit. And then Bo or like Cesaro or Ziggler. But, you know, when it came down to the end, Ziggler wound up eliminating Sheamus, and then right after he did, Miz tossed Ziggler over. So Miz wound up winning the title, and they did a little one-on-one match the following on Raw, and that was pretty good. Hopefully it's going to lead to a nice little short feud leading into SummerSlam for the title. You know, I would like to see that. You know, yeah, it's like I said, it's you make the title the key factor in the story, you can wind up making the title have more credit. You know, more credit and more legitimacy. Anyways, next matchup, it was the main event of the night for the pay-per-view. Fatal 4-way for the WWE title. Roman Reigns, Randy No Pants Orton, Glenn the Demon Kane Jacobs versus swear I'll get this thing taken care of eventually, John Cena. First off, it was nice seeing Cena actually walk out with both belts, especially considering that lately there's been rumors going around that they were looking to retire the big gold belt. But, yeah, as far as that match, it was pretty nice. I mean, like I've been saying, Fatal 4-Way matches, I like Fatal 4-Way matches to be an elimination match. You know, and not just first fall to a finish. Yeah, and if anything, this match, it was way too predictable that you knew who was going to win. One, because of all the internet spoilers that got leaked out saying what was going to happen at SummerSlam, which I'll get to that in a moment. And two, the fact that everyone was hyping up, Cena doesn't have to get pinned to lose the title. Really? Seriously, dude, come on. Instead of hyping that up, why not hype up on how all of your opponents are hungry and want the title? But, anyways, Cena wound up getting a win. He wound up doing an AA. He wound up giving Randy an AA, and Randy landed on top of Kane, who just wound up getting an RKO right before that. So, obviously Cena won, but yeah, it's Reigns, he was the all-star for that match in my book, because Reigns, he had the most to gain in that match, because first time in a main event title spot like that, you could see that they're grooming this kid to be a main eventer and eventually win the strap, which is going to be really great, especially considering, if you think about it, in the next 2 to 3 years, we can wind up seeing Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins main event in WrestleMania. You know, that would be really great. And now, on to Raw with that, the follow-up with that. Cena wasn't on it, in which case, oh Lord, let me get a hallelujah. Hallelujah. Thank you. You're welcome. Anyways, Hunter wound up coming out at the beginning of the show, trolling everyone, saying, Cena won, and you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get mad and complain about it on social media. And then me and my friend Mark are not gonna watch it anymore. Which I fell over laughing on. But, yeah, he said he's gonna name the #1 contender by the end of the night. Randy wound up coming out at the end of the night, and everyone was thinking, oh no, not Randy. And just as Randy was about to get into the ring, Roman wound up stopping him, beating the snot out of him. In which case you could tell now they're going to book a match between Randy and Roman now for SummerSlam instead of the rumors of Roman and Triple H. So, nice little swerve to avoid that match. But, yeah, then, of all people, the great one himself, Paulie Dangerously, came out and said, Your plan A is dealing with issues with Roman Reigns. Your plan B, Seth Rollins, isn't able to cash in his money in the bank because of Dean Ambrose. So allow me to introduce you to Plan C. And then cue Brock Lesnar's music. Brock comes out. Paulie cuts a great promo talking about on how Brock was the one behind 21-1 and on how, he's not going to accept anything short but breaking Cena's championship streak and defeating him and becoming the new champ. And I'm going to say this right now. I know I gave a lot of crap about with Rock being champ, being part-time and being a champ. But I would like to see Brock be champ just because, and not just because I'm doing the whole I hate Cena thing. Because while, yeah, I do, I'm not going to it's not because of that. It's because I want to have the champ actually look like somebody that can be intimidating and different, which is what is needed right now. Because, okay, the Money in the Bank match, it was obvious that Cena was going to win that one. But you gotta have some, it's come to the time now where you gotta have the changing of the guard and have new guys holding the straps. Obviously Daniel Bryan was set to be that guy until his neck wound up giving in. So until Bryan comes back, let Brock hold the straps, let him hold them, let that go for a while until Bryan comes back and then beats Lesnar for the titles at whichever pay-per-view. Preferably WrestleMania, but if they have to do it sooner, okay. But either way, it would work great on that part. And, well, again, that's about it for this week's show. So, like on normal, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back, watch all the other episodes. Look for me on Twitter at TimVicious. Make sure y'all also check out my other account, Tim_Vicious. I get put in Twitter jail every now and then. Also, I will be on the Matt Turmoil podcast coming soon. Recording for that's going to be on July 31st. So, once I get the link for it, I'll make sure to put it out there for y'all. And, guys, I keep on meaning to add yous onto here. I just, not going to lie, I'm lazy and I forget. But make sure y'all follow all these cool-ass cats right here on Twitter. Vicky Earls, who's got her own YouTube channel. Make sure y'all check her out. I am Danny Sunday, Mucky Morris, Axel Mulligan. Make sure y'all also check out Axel's show, Axel's Analysis. Think of it kind of like this, but it's on NXT, so that automatically makes it a million times better. And the fact that he's doing his thing compared to this, well, hell, even Ollie Benz and Mask Mark's TNA turnaround looks better than this. In which case, Mark, you're still a piece of shit. The Sunday segue, I was on there this week. I have been retweeting the links for the video for the podcast. If y'all want to look for it, ask them for the link or look for me, either or. And Ollie, I told you, son, you see what happens when you mess with the alpha brain. You see what happens. I warned you. Also look for Cranky Grandpa, Legion Lady Aaron, Oliver Ben, Just a Stupid Mark. Make sure you also check out Ollie Ben and Masked Mark's TNA Turnaround. Also, Bronx Bitch number 4 ever, who is my client. And may I point out once again that my client will be the new Raw General Manager. This Paul, all due respect, while your client may be the one behind 21-1, you still have yet to be an advocate for anyone that has been a general manager for any sports entertainment program, unlike me. And with that in mind, like I always tell y'all, you love me great, you hate me. Fuck you.